What's up guys, Marco here and welcome to today's video where I want to talk about a very hot topic that you see pretty much everywhere when you look at the e-commerce and Shopify dropshipping marketing space, and this is courses. So every YouTube channel, every guru, every company in that sort has some sort of course or training program, workshop, mentorship, whatever it is, and it is very easy to just lose sight of what's going on. And I get so many messages from people asking me like, what are good courses? Is your course right for me? What is the difference between your course and this course, and why are so many people offering courses? Yada yada yada. There is so much stuff going on about courses, and in this video I want to give you my personal opinion on courses, first of all, so on the course industry in general. But I also want to tell you or give you my opinion on when a course might be right for you, when a course might be wrong for you. So first of all, I want to start this video by sharing my opinion on when is a good time to buy a course. So what are the requirements in my opinion to buy a course? This is the first part of this video. The second part will be what is the bad situation for buying a course, right? And technically you could say it's the opposite from the first, but I want to still give you like some points why buying a course is bad if you fall into one of these categories. And then in the very end, as the third part of this video, I want to talk about my personal opinion on that. So what do I think about courses, about gurus, about all this kind of stuff? I know it may be a little bit biased as I have on myself, but I really try to be as unbiased as I can, specifically because I didn't have a course until I was doing YouTube for over a year already. So I didn't actually join YouTube with the intent to sell a course. That's something that I can really say for myself, so I try to be as unbiased as possible here. And with this being said, let's get started with what you should be looking for in a course. When does a course really make sense? Alright, so in my opinion, you should buy a course if one, you have a lot of money or sales, okay? So if you already have a lot of money or a lot of sales, then many courses are pretty much a no-brainer. So let's say you make like 100K a month, or let's say even 30K a month or something with your e-commerce business, right? And you want to grow these sales. Well, there are many ways you can do that, and you can like watch YouTube videos, you can do all kind of stuff, you can test new things. But if you have the sales volume, usually it's cheaper to buy a course and massively reduce the mistakes and the amount you spend and the time you have to you know, work on that. Normally, if you are in that situation, it's better to just pay like $300, $500, sometimes even $1,000 or something for a course, instead of wasting all that money because of your like ad budget that may be fairly high, right? So if you have the money, if you have the sales, if your business is in that stage, usually buying a course is a good idea, because the opposite or you know, the alternative of not buying a course may be much more expensive for you. And this is exactly the first category, the first type of entrepreneur or businesses where I say buying a course makes a lot of sense. Now the second type is when you want to learn a very specific skill, and this is something that many people miss out. So many people buy a course because they just like want to make money, right? They are like, hey, what is a good money-making course? What is a good course that just takes me from here, doing nothing, 9-to-5 job, whatever, to being like a super successful entrepreneur? And the thing is that most courses actually advertise themselves that way. They are like, they don't show you what you learn in them or what it's about. They are like, hey, you want to have that lifestyle, you want to have that whatever, and they usually attract those that are beginners. So normally a business person or an entrepreneur that is making really good sales and knows exactly what they want to learn, they very rarely you know, buy a course that is totally advertised as some lifestyle type of thing, including myself. So I would never buy one of those courses that is only about you know, flashy cars, lifestyle, without talking about the content at all, right? So this is a thing. However, if you want to learn a very specific skill, let's say for example in my case, you want to be like a Google Ads master that can sell products every single day with Google Ads successfully, or you want to learn more about email marketing or about, you know, copywriting, whatever it is, then a course can make a lot of sense if the course is specifically about that topic. So one advice I can give you is don't buy into those like lifestyle courses or anything like that. Buy into courses that teach a specific skill, and that can be anything under the sun. But if the course, you know, if it's a course that teaches a skill that you need right now, let's say in your business, let's stick with the Google Ads example again. Let's say you're doing good with Facebook and now you want to move to Google and you really want to truly master it, then a Google Ads course like mine, of course, might be a good idea. But also if you want to write like perfect product descriptions, it may be a good idea if you realize that this is the bottleneck of your business, business that your descriptions and texts are really, really bad, then you might identify that this is a skill that you really have to learn. And then you can look for a course on copywriting in this case, right? But what you shouldn't do is just looking for courses all the time and seeing every course as something that you have to buy, because this is definitely not the case. I never buy a course just because someone advertised it to me and like, here, you need that, it's so great, and I don't even know what it's about, right? So I look for what I need first, and then I buy something where I feel like this is actually helping me out and this can take my business to the next level. And the third point is if you don't have much time. So if you don't have much time, of course, this can also be because you're having a business that is running very well already. But let's say you have a day job as well. Let's say you have a day job and you make pretty good money with it, but your time is very limited because of that. Now, you may, of course, learn all the things by yourself, and you can set up a Google Ads account, Facebook Ads account, Shopify, and you can run it. But if you have very limited time, it will take you very, very long to learn all the things. And in this case, usually it's a better idea to cut some corners by buying a course, by saving a ton of time and also money in the end, and just getting there quicker. So if you have very limited time, if you can only invest like 1 hour per day or 30 minutes per day even, I have students also that can only dedicate like 2 hours, 3 hours per week to their business. In this case, it makes sense to have a course that has all that knowledge like compressed in one single training, like all the good stuff, like the advanced techniques, the strategies that you don't find easily on YouTube, if you can find them at all there. Then it makes sense to have a course where all the good stuff is compressed and you have everything in one place, all the advanced strategies that you cannot really find elsewhere. And then, of course, this investment can be very, very useful. So with this being said, let's have a look at what is not a good situation to buy a course. And as I said, it's pretty much like the opposite. But let's start already with you having very little money. Okay, so if you only have like $100 budget or a $200 budget, the worst thing you can do is spend all of that on a course and then not having anything left to like advertise your business or spend it in other ways, right? This is something that I also see a lot, and I know a lot of people that are like, hey, just buy that course, everything else will come by itself. That's definitely not the truth. You definitely need at least like $100, $200, $300 left or more after you bought the course so that you can properly execute on it. And if you have a tiny shoestring budget, what I always recommend to people is save a little more money before you make the investment, before you get into it, because then you are much more likely to succeed as well because you can work on the things that the course teaches much better, right? So this is extremely important. You don't need thousands of dollars to follow it properly, but you shouldn't also be left with like almost nothing after you bought the course. The next point, and again, same thing here, is when you have no idea what you actually want to learn. So there are too many people that just want to buy a course because they're so like hyped by the end result or the way that the end result is presented, and this is usually one of the worst ways, because if you have no idea what you want to learn and what you want to go into, many people don't even know that they want to go into e-commerce, but they buy like a random e-commerce course, right? So be aware of what you want to learn, what are your bottlenecks. Probably you are really good at Google Ads already and you are like an absolute master and kicking it or crushing it with it, then you don't need my training. If everything is going really well for you on Google, you get like 6x ROAS every single day with a ton of sales, probably your money is better invested in like an email marketing course or conversion rate optimization or something like that. The point is, don't just buy into a course randomly without actually knowing what it will teach you and why it may be helpful for your individual situation. Alright, and with these things being said, I hope that you now have a better idea whether a course might be good for your individual situation. Of course, there are some more details to it. There are some other situations and things where a training program might be helpful, but these are probably the main things for me. And now I want to give you my personal opinion on this whole course industry, if you want. So in general, I obviously don't have anything against courses. I mean, I run my own eCom PPC Academy for around 1.5 years now, and my high ticket course for like half a year. And you know, so far the feedback on these have been extremely positive, and they helped a ton of people. But you know, what I don't like about the course game is exactly the things that I just mentioned when it comes to just like showing lifestyles, showing things that you can buy, and only showing cars and all that kind of stuff, and forgetting about what it is is in the first place, and especially attracting all the wrong people. So if you create like a course only flashy with flashy cars that is clearly aimed to like beginners, right, even young people, then for me it's a little tough. So I don't really like to get a ton of, I don't know, 18-year-olds on board that are just going crazy about the cars that I'm showing in like an ad, and they don't even know what they actually learn in the course, or why they should buy it in the first place, or why, you know, it's useful in the first place. Now I get it, it's part of marketing, and in the end, if you're super successful with it and if you make millions, of course I can understand why people keep doing that, but it's just not something that I want to do. So I'm not a person that wants to stand in front of a Lamborghini and tells you, hey, buy this program and you can have the same lifestyle, something like that. I just don't like that. I won't do that, and this is just something that I don't like about this whole industry. But as I said, courses by itself are definitely nothing bad. So if they help you get from here to here quicker, if they help you to get from here to here without spending a ton of money, without wasting weeks learning by doing or anything like that, or they probably show you strategies and methods that you don't find anywhere else, then of course it can be a great investment. But it also always depends on your own budget. There are courses that only cost $100, there are courses that cost $5,000. And I can say that the most expensive courses are definitely not always the best. Like oftentimes they're just that expensive so that they can spend a lot of money on marketing and selling you that course. So you really have to see individually which course is great. You can of course try a few of them and see which of them works best for you if you have the budget. But in general, courses are nothing bad if you know how to approach them, and if you keep the things in mind that I just talked about, so that you can be more sure in a way that you are actually making the right decision. Okay, so I hope that this video now was helpful for you. I hope it was interesting to get like my perspective on courses and the whole industry as someone who sells courses, but who also does many other things. So I'm not like a full-time course seller, and that's why I think I can bring across some of these things in a very honest and very transparent way. Right? So as I said in the very beginning, I haven't been selling courses after like 1 year of doing YouTube already, and of course it's cool to have them, especially because many people cannot afford my own services, they cannot afford my managed services, and for these people it's great to buy a course that's much cheaper than my monthly retainer, for example. And that's just the perfect solution. But of course I want to also know about your opinion, so let me know in the comments. Do you have a training program? Are you enrolled somewhere? Was it helpful so far? What do you think about all these courses and trainings in the first place? Would be very interesting for me to know, so let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more e-commerce, marketing and Google Ads content on this channel. With this being said, thanks a lot for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video again, guys. Bye bye.